Welcome to the Internet of Things equation, a podcast when I talk about the Internet of Things domain both from the technical and business perspectives. I'm Łukasz Malinowski, the Internet of Things advisor and trainer. My today's guest is a senior lecturer at the Sorbonne University in the field of embedded systems, Internet of Things, and microelectronics. Yann has been sharing his IoT knowledge for many years now, and luckily he agreed to meet with me today and share his passion with us. Hello, Yann. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation.
It's nice to be here.
Could you briefly introduce yourself to the audience? Because you've got a really strong background in academia.
So I am teacher in Sorbonne University since more than 20 years now. My background, my studies are in the electronics, the low power electronics. And my specialty since the beginning was more computer architecture, microprocessor architecture. I'm specialization was on hardware description language like VHDL, Verilog, System Verilog, etc. But since around 10 years, focus on the IoT technologies. It was a little bit the beginning in 2014. It was not the beginning of IoT, but it became more and more important. And so also there were some new technologies like Sigfox and LoRaWAN. At the beginning, I was really focused on Sigfox because it was a French company, French technology, and a lot of people using it around me. And also, I have a contact with the founders of Sigfox. It was very interesting. And then also, I learned more about LoRaWAN. Today, I use it a lot in my courses, but I also know the Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth. I don't do some research. I'm not researchers. I don't do research. I only give courses, and I work for several startups and also a big company like in France, Thales, and also some little startups since 2009, consultant and technical consultant, so to help them on some projects. And so it was a great benefit for me, so I can see what's my students are doing in the companies. So I have a good knowledge of the industrial world, also the startup ecosystem in France, and also I'm very curious, so I read a lot, give a lot of course about microcontrollers, real-time operating system, also a little bit artificial intelligence, microprocessor architecture, and how to describe a system in some VHDL language.
You are the person that joins academia with commercial world, and this is actually a perfect match in my opinion, because sometimes academia is very disconnected for how you actually
Yeah.
use technology in a field. You having
Mm.
picture on those two words, you can really provide tons of value. Let's start with the academia, how the curriculum evolved over the years, because you said that you started with hardware design, then moved to the Internet of Things space. If you could give me a brief history lesson of the evolution of IoT and the curriculum that you provide.
So the fact is that I was really focused on course about HDL language, microcontrollers, real-time operating system, and then I see the IoT becomes to be more and more famous. I read a lot about it in 2012, 2013. And then I have a colleague, he was a headmaster of the specialty of the department. And he says me, hey, we need a teacher to do some IoT courses for the last year of the studies, the Master 2 degree. I say, yeah, but I'm totally not, I don't know how it works. And also, and what was funny is to learn about it, what I do, I don't know if you know the hackathon, this kind of. So there was a hackathon organized in the famous school in France. It's called School 42. It's very special school. Well, I don't gonna explain about it, but it was a hackathon about IoT. What it was organized by NG, and they want to digitalize their counters. They want to digitalize energy counters, and we have to provide some solutions with NG and Salesforce. And what I did, I came with a very old electricity counter. It was from the year I don't know 60 or 70, and I came with a Raspberry Pi and a Bluetooth microcontroller. And I really don't know about Bluetooth. I don't really know nothing about cloud servers and etc. So I came there and I asked, yeah, my goal during this hackathon is to digitalize this electricity counter that was from the year 60, 70. I found a team of 5 people, so five, most of them are students from this school. They are very pushing and they are more computer science, and we did it. So I learned during 48 hours all the bases of IoT. That was the beginning. We win the hackathon. It was very good. So we win the, yeah, I don't know, 5,000 euros. So we were very happy. We have the project with the team to continue to start a company, etc. But one was in Italia, the other was in Switzerland, one was in Belgium. So it was too difficult to do something. But after that, I begin the first course next year about IoT, and it was focused on Bluetooth, low energy communicating, because the goal was to do some sensor in the counter with a microcontroller board that was on batteries. They are sending some Bluetooth values to the Raspberry Pi, and the Raspberry Pi are sending into the cloud to have a desktop and in a server, and to have the electricity diagrams during the time. The next year I begin with this, so I learned to my student how to use Bluetooth. It's not so easy, I think, technology to understand. And then also I learned them how to use Raspberry Pi to send some data through HTTP at this moment, and also how to create a desktop. And I used for this Node-RED. I don't know if you know it. Node-RED is very easy because in our school we don't learn them to code in JavaScript or HTML. We are more focused on the low-level code. It's an embedded system, so it's more C. We learn a little bit Python or C++ or Java, and so we don't learn the cloud languages. So we use Node-RED. It was really, really easy. That was my first course in 2013. And then I was interested by this round. I do a lot of hackathon at this moment. It was very famous at this moment. And also I bring some students of the school also sometimes. And it was very nice moments. And I learned a lot, because I think you learn a lot about, you can learn in 48 hours. You can learn when you are very focused. You can learn a lot of things. I merge technologies that was at the beginning Sigfox. I learned about Sigfox. I say, yes, that is nice. You can send a message with 15 milliamps to 10 or 20 kilometers. So that is great. And it was a French technology, was the new technology. So I was very focused on this. And then since 2018, I think I begin also to use LoRaWAN in my courses, because I give courses in my university, but I give some also courses in other French schools that we call in French. We have a special system at engineer schools, and now I give this course also in 2 or 3 other schools, because a lot of schools want to do some IoT courses, but there are not a lot of people they know how to do it. It's not so simple. I have now some experience in IoT course. I also give each year an IoT course in China.
Nice. And so, what it looks like you started very similar as myself by basically playing with the technology, trying to figure out how it works, and then once you understand the basics and see the huge potential, you learn all the fundamentals, like the protocols and other aspects. So I started
Yeah.
myself exactly the same way many years ago. I think that this mindset is crucial if you want to work in the IoT field. Just looking at you, I can tell that you can share that mindset with your students, and that is the best way to enable them to be the IoT professionals. Because you need to be curious, you need to work all the time, you need to learn all the time.
Mm.
Speaking about learning, are there any things that you plan to learn in the near future that are IoT related?
Uh, in the future, I don't have really plans. I see what comes, what is coming, but today, what I do more and more, what I like is to do some full project with IoT, because IoT is not only the communication technology; it's also low power. It's also how to harvesting energy from the surrounding. The thing is, at the beginning, I was more focused on the radio technologies, LoRaWAN, Sigfox, and I try to do all the functionalities that they can have. So for example, how to do some downlinks, uplinks. But now more and more, I go to projects, full projects, where they have to design a complete device with the sensors, choose the good sensors. Oh yeah, what we do more and more now today is to do some artificial intelligence in the microcontroller to analyze, not only send the data, also to have some intelligence at the edge. And that we're doing more and more this time, but we do it during the projects because they have some artificial intelligence courses, but they are more focused on CNN, YOLO, on pictures. And we use all this knowledge to use it in the microcontrollers to do some AI on, For example, one subject, what
Mhm.
we're doing since 2, 3 years is to monitor a beehive. And we have some beehives, and they have to monitor the sound. And for the sound, they're using some AI. And also, they can use it also for the weight, for example, to analyze the weight of the hive. The things that are new in my course of IoT, we are using more and more AI, and also more and more I'm focused on doing a full project and with all the things around IoT that is on not only the connectivity.
Well, IoT is just a technical capability. End-to-end project, as you said, this is when it shows value. Because simply connecting the devices, sending data, even for long distances without any business need, then that doesn't make any good for anyone. And as you said,
So that's why also I learning them that we don't have to speak about IoT, but about IoT solution.
exactly, no one cares about
IoT
IoT.
solution.
Everyone wants to have business outcomes out of it. And that's why the project view, the business goal is so crucial. You mentioned AI a few times that you actually use AI at the edge. Do you see AI replacing the human engineers in designing embedded systems or IoT systems? What's your point on that?
No, I don't think so. For me, AI is an accelerator. It's a knowledge accelerator. I don't think that it will replace the engineers. Totally not. I think that it can help the engineers to go more faster. Like other tools, we can see all the EDA tools. Since the beginning of electronics, they are helping the engineer to be more productive, to have more bigger design in lesser time. So it's the same with AI, but with AI, you need to have a good base, a good knowledge of the basis. If you don't have it, AI is not useful. And that is difficult today for the student, but because some of them, they are thinking that they have everything with ChatGPT and that they don't need to learn anything. You can ask to ChatGPT. And so we try to learn them. No, it's not working like this because ChatGPT is useful, but you need to know how to use it. Ask him the good question to have the good response. And so today, as teacher, we have to learn them to use ChatGPT or other device like this because it's very useful, like other tools that we are using each day. But yeah, we have to learn them to be critical about the response, to see to give the good question first, to have the good response, and that learn them that is an accelerator. It's accelerate, but it's not the solution. It's not the replacement. Human knowledge. That's not so easy to learn them. This kind of thing is very new for us also. For us also, it's very useful to do some course materials. It's very I use it a lot, but all the time we need to give the good question, to have the good answers, and then to change it, to adapt it to our perfect needs. And for this, we need to have strong basis, strong competence.
I absolutely agree with you. That's my impression as well, that AI can accelerate your design, can support you, but you need to have strong domain knowledge. You need to understand foundations to validate the outputs. Because I play with AI, with various tools, and they often give you some output that looks decent, but if you go into details, you can find that it's not really production ready. You cannot just copy paste and deploy that to the production. And I absolutely agree with your approach that you need to educate your students that that's a great tool to use, but without that domain knowledge, without really understanding what you're asking for, you are not able to use it efficiently, and you might actually cause more harm than good by leveraging those tools. Speaking about tools, you mentioned energy harvesting. What is the next huge thing in the IoT space that you think about? Is it energy harvesting? Because that's got a huge potential, right?
Yeah,
We could create devices that can work essentially forever.
yeah, but also on the ecological side, I think I try to do more and more course about it because I think it's a big potential first for the IoT devices so that can live longer. So when it live longer, you have a better ROI, return on interest on investment. So that is the first thing, and but also it's for the ecology. The
Yeah,
batteries are very dirty to make, and also when you leave it, because an IoT device most of the time you build it, you deploy it, and then you leave it, you forget it. And so if you put 1,000 as we expect, we don't never know what will happen. Huh? As we expect that there will be billions of devices in the field. So with all these batteries, that's not a good solution. So I try to learn to my students the importance of doing some harvesting before the ecological side, and also we learn them some basic stuff. But for me, it's not for the moment. You cannot, because we always all the time as teacher we work with some modules on the shelf that are already ready to use. We can, so also in the IoT course you cannot pass all your project in create a device. That is not our goal. Is we use also the sensor. We use some sensor that are already MEMS sensor in the module. We don't have the time to create all our self sensor. So for the moment, we use only solar panels because you can find it very easy. You have all the dimension, etc. We are not using the other kind of harvesting, for example, electromagnetic or temperature difference or the vibration, because we cannot find easily some modules easy to use. But I'll talk about them. I talk a little bit about the physical concepts, but in the practice we use only the solar power. If I have the possibility, I want to focus more and more on this part on my courses. That is real. I think it's for the industry. I think it's a move that the industry have to do for different reasons that I already explained, and I hope that it will come more and more used this harvesting energy in all the devices that are in the field.
I think so too, because it's got all of the senses attached to it. The commercial sense, because it will be cheaper eventually than batteries, and ecology perspective, it is also better solution. You co-directed the theme resources for the sustainable planet, this sound project, the Sorbonne University for a New Deal. And you actively contributing to One Health, One Earth, One Humanity. Could you elaborate on that initiative?
Yeah, it was that is quite new since last summer. I am involved in a project. Is Our university have a big project about science and society. The thing is that more and more our university want to make more that the knowledge produced by the researchers, by the scientists, are more useful, not only useful, but more knows by the society. Because today, first, there are a lot of people that are disconnected with the science and they don't understand, first. And also, because they are not close to the researchers, to the science, they are doing some fake news. One of the goals of this project is first to amplify the knowledge of the university to the society on three fields: on humanities, health, and sustainability. Our goal is to, and also to focus the research project on really big problem of the society, and try to emerge some research project that are really on some big problems of the society. And we have for this project we have during 10 years 30 million euros to to do some events, some events to make more the science more to the society, also to make emerge some research projects in the field of these three axes that I told before. And I'm involved as a co-pilot of the sustainability worlds. And we at the moment now we ask to the researchers some for project that we can finance. At this moment we are trying to find some research project to finance some doctors to do some research on some hot topics.
The whole idea is to bring science and society together. I think this is win-win scenario
Yeah.
because if people understand science a bit more, they can find very creative ways to actually use it. And also, the same way you can counter all the fake news that we can see everywhere, that so-called experts are speaking rubbish about topics they do not understand and do not know anything about. So sharing the actual knowledge really helps society to distinguish the real material from some fake news. I think that's a huge thing. And the other thing is that when you've got finance to start research project and that research project will do some good for the society, then that is the best way actually to utilize technology and bring some value to the people. Speaking about society, people, and projects, when I was learning myself, I thought that the hard skills like the programming languages, system designs, that is the core competency of consultant and professional in the IT space. The more mature I am, the more value I see in the soft skills, so the communication, the way to explain extremely complex topics in pure English to everyone that is willing to listen. How can you teach someone the soft skills? Because you're doing a great job in teaching people the hard skills, but do you have any magical approach to teach people the soft skills?
Yeah. Big question. That's not easy, yeah, because most of the soft skills are given by the education of the parents. But we try, and that is most also through the projects, because during the projects they have to work together. So we learn them to work together first, and to be efficient in working together, and to also do some presentation. They have to explain it good, and also during the school they have to participate in some project, also some association. And I think during this time they are learning some soft skills, and also we help them. And also I think uh, we teacher we have to be an example for them also, because I really think that teaching is working good when there are, I will say this word, but some love between when I love my students, I feel that I can teach them better. And I think also when they love me, when they like me, they can learn very better. And also they can, also about the soft skills, about the manner to be, you know, to be honest, to be autonomous, to be agréable, nice people, smiling, to be good feeling. These kind of things, you can learn it by meeting people that have these skills, and to say, oh, that is nice, I will try to do it like them, like him. I think for this feel also by the example you can learn also, and through the projects that they are doing. It can be technical project of other project doing music, through this you can learn to be a better person and to yeah to upgrade your soft skills.
I think that's such a good approach. I remember my own days when back at the university. At that time, lecturers were, like, they were not role models as you want to be. They were the authority, but there was basically no communication between students and the lecturer. Because that was, the person that got all the wisdom, and you need to absorb that wisdom, but there is no connection. And only when you create that connection, as you said, then you can really transfer your knowledge and experience to someone else. So I think that's a huge mindset, and I'm so lucky that you present that, because I believe this is the way to share our knowledge, our motivation with others. And this is something I try to do myself when I'm teaching people about Internet of Things, clouds, and whatever. Not only to give them the hard skills, but also to show the motivation and to create that real connection. Speaking about teaching and entering the field, because you've got very strong technical background, what would you suggest to someone just starting the IoT journey? Like, they think that what we are speaking today really makes sense. They would like to use technology for greater good, but they have no technical skills whatsoever. So what's the best way to start, in your opinion?
Uh, I think first the best way to learn is to start a project that you like, something that you want to resolve. For example, you want to know the temperature in your in your bathroom. I don't know, or you want to doing something concrete. Yeah, that is the best way to start. And then there are yeah, so much knowledge on internet, on with ChatGPT, with the AI chatbots, with you have a lot of course online with the MOOC. There are more than enough resources today. The only things that you need is the motivation. And the motivation, you can do it, you can have it if you want to do a real project, a project that is useful for you, for your family, for the, and that gives you the energy to learn, because everything is online. For every level, there are more than enough resources today on internet to learn. It's really amazing. But the only thing is to find the motivation, yeah the the endurance to do it, not only for 1 hour to do it. And that's the best way, is to have a real project that you want to achieve. And I found this during the hackathons, because during the hackathons it's like a challenge. You are challenging with others, so you are in this, and also you have a prize at the end. And this is the time that I find the most energy to learn. And also another time is when I have some startup experience. I want to grow up a startup during a time, a hardware startup, but I see it was not so easy as what I think is. I think it's very difficult to create a hardware startup. So, but during the time I want to do some products. I was developing some prototypes, also because I want to have a product that I will sell and that will resolve some problems extra. I was also very motivated. I was working night and days, not feeling the need to sleep. And I learn a lot. I do a lot also during this time. So the best thing is to find a project that you want to resolve. It can be for your home. It can be I don't know. Everybody knows some problems, and there are a lot of problems that can be resolved by IoT. And so that is, I think, the best way to begin to for learning.
You mentioned something extremely interesting for myself and for the audience, because a number of engineers, hardware engineers, are listening to us. Um, the hardware is hard. This is the common saying that we hear all over the place. And you've got your own unique experience of creating the hardware startup and failing. Could you give us some details? What makes it so difficult to start a hardware company, and what to look if you really want to go through that path?
Yeah, I think it's difficult because the hardware is hard, and also you need a lot of investment in the beginning. And the thing is that today the best business model is it's hardware as a service. The best business model today is the service. It's the recurrent revenues. And the problem with hardware is that you make a product, you have to sell it, and sometimes you can sell a lot, but if you want that your company continue, you need to create another product to sell them for the next 6 months or the next year. And the problem is difficult to find every time a good new product that can be sold and make enough money for your company. So a lot of hardware startup, also very famous, they failed. For example, Fitbit, they make good products, but they sell only the hardware. They never know how to sell a service. And yeah, at the beginning, it was in the year 2000. Fitbit was, for example, an amazing startup, hardware startup. All the investors say, "Oh yeah, that's finally hardware startups that make a lot of money." But in 2015, yeah, there are too many companies that do the same hardware. Garmin, Nike, we think the French company, Google, Apple with the smartwatch. Everybody makes some smartwatch, and then they are not competitive enough. That then they will be sold to Google for not so many compared that the value they have. So the most difficult, I think, if you want to start a hardware startup, you need to find a business model that the hardware is used to sell a service. Otherwise, it's very difficult. It's you can see today there are not so many companies that can live only with selling hardware. Most of the time, the company doing enough money because they are selling some hardware, but behind they're selling a service, and the service can be compared. But so today, I think if someone want to start a hardware company, they have to look how to use the hardware to sell a service. That is the best business model today to survive.
That's the common theme of our talk and generally in the Internet of Things, that no one cares about technology, right? No one cares about the hardware if that hardware doesn't provide any end goal, any business value. And as you said, if you provide the hardware without that service, then you're putting yourself at a huge risk. So always try to think from the end-to-end perspective. So what is in it for the end user? If that person decides to buy your hardware, how you can improve the user experience using all of those soft skills, those applications, creating an ecosystem basically on top of what you just created. So thank you very much, and for our today's conversation. What's the best way to reach out to you if someone is thinking, for instance, about starting the startup in the IoT space and would like to ask you for advice? How can people reach out to you?
The best is through LinkedIn. You can ask me something, I will try to respond, no problem. So you can find me easily, Yann Douze on LinkedIn. You can find me easily.
Perfect. Jan, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today, share your experience. I'm really sure that you are a role model for a number of teachers in academia, because you've got real passion, you've got the hard skills, you've got the soft skills to deliver the hard skills to people that you are educating, and that's a huge thing. I'm really happy to see more and more people like you helping young generations to enter the IoT and technology field in general. So once again, thank you so much, and let's stay in touch.
Thank you, Lucas, for this interview. It was a nice moment.
Thank you for listening. Go to thefingers.com to find more materials about the Internet of Things domain. My name is Łukasz Malinowski, the Internet of Things advisor and trainer.